That's what we're doing. All right, so we are
I
live.
know.
Very exciting. So
Yeah.
we're waiting for Miss
Well,
Vicki like we usually have to because she's a woman. She
mm,
has to put her hair and makeup together. Not that
I
she has,
know.
not that she can't figure this. That she has 168.
She has a
Um,
call. She has a call from
she has 168 hours to prepare for the show, and Miss Vicki apparently can't
1 week.
use.
She had 1 week.
It's 168 hours, Adam. I'm just saying, there's 168 hours to get ready for the show. And apparently, that's not enough time for her to get ready for the actual show. So she's always late, which I think is kind of funny. Because she's just not ready for the show. She has to do hair and makeup. She must do hair and makeup like the last second. So as soon as she comes, we'll run the credit. The show doesn't start until the kid shows up. How was your week?
Okay,
Even though we
let's go because it has
We're going
started.
to run the credits. All right, let's run it, baby.
This is 2OF Entertainment.
Hey, and we're back.
Hello, guys. How are you doing?
Yeah, there you go. So, man, so you haven't read the news since when? When's the last time you read the newspaper so we can tell you what's going on?
Mm, like 5 hours ago.
Well, you're fine then. Trump hasn't blown up anything in the last 5 hours. You're good.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you're
check,
fine.
and
You're going to
we'll
check to
be.
make sure that the world is still here.
Yeah, I'm gonna check, and we'll be discussing the first or the second
That you
news
check. Okay,
in a
so you
row.
pick up the first
Okay.
thing that you do. Okay.
Αντιμέτωπος με
What
τον
newspaper?
ανεμοστρόβιλο ο πρόεδρος Erdogan. I
Sure,
was
that's
going to
easy for
talk
you to say.
about it again.
Okay. Now, what newspaper are you reading?
It's called Nafteboriki. It's
Sure.
it's a
I
Greek
had
one.
some last night I had some for dinner last night. It was wonderful. I had it over a little rice. It was
It's
beautiful. Oh,
Nafteboriki
with
means
scotch and cigar.
Nafteboriki means the business of the ships of the
Business of
marine, but
ships.
the
Okay. Well,
marine
that's
business.
interesting because the new trade thing, Trump wants to build ships now, vessels to start trading around the world like they did in World War II. They built 2,700 of them in 4 years. He wants to build new vessels to start sailing around the world for trade.
Stephen,
Signing the
tell me
executive order.
honestly,
Yes.
with
Yes,
with
I'll
the
tell you honestly.
with your hand in your head, is this going
Or
to
my
end
hand somewhere
well?
else. No, it's not going to end well. Full stop. It's not ending well.
Is this
No.
going to end well?
Yes.
Is this?
Our
You
shows
were
are going to
telling
end
us
not well.
before, long before. I mean, years before the elections. I think you were talking about that,
Yeah, it's not going to like it. I like your
and
coffee
I
mug,
didn't believe
everybody.
you
I know.
because
Now you
I
do.
thought you were exaggerating.
Pretty much
And
everything that's
but I
going on,
think
I
you were
told
very
you.
soft after all. I think you were very soft after all.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't that I was a doomsayer. It's just that I read history books
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I
You're
read
not that guy.
biographies. Yeah, I like to read. So you can see what's going on, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to go, "Oh, there's an issue here." Um, and I understand why people voted for Trump, but and now he's tearing apart universities and education and whatever.
I was reading
So
about that from a Greek, a very important, like say, he's I don't know if he's still a professor, but he used to be a professor in the United States, and
okay,
he was talking about the universities
yeah,
that
Trump's tearing them down.
the
Just
American university are one of the best in the world, etc.,
well, used to
etc. And
be.
well, they are
Used to be.
still well. We don't
Nah,
know
let's not get
now.
carried away.
Yeah, we don't know now.
No, I mean,
Uh,
Harvard actually has a remedial math class for people. So, no, they're not what they used to be. They're not as prestigious, let's say, before. Here's the problem. I think our universities were prestigious up until about 2005 or six. And then what happened was mommy and daddy, or if your mom and dad's an actress, same thing. You can build a wing, you can make a large donation. So everyone was getting in. So just now saying you go to Harvard or Yale or any of these other schools is like, yeah, big deal. My kid goes to, I don't have any, but my kid goes to U of F. which is University of Florida. Same shit, right? They just pay less. So I think that's part of the issue. And now, from what I understand from friends of mine that have Cambridge and Oxford, that's still what you want. There she is, Miss America. So let me ask you this. So this is after 3 hours of prepping. This is what we get. Let's do a close up. There we go. There's Vicky after prepping, everybody.
Oh, that's
Not,
very,
and we
very
were just saying,
nice.
Vicky, very nice. And the very nice thing is, Vicky has only, after we end the show, she only has 168 hours to prepare for the next show. So it's not like it's a surprise.
After we end the show, I will ask her to send me her details because I think she didn't.
I know.
But
I know she needed this
I,
so she
I
can get
did.
the
I
audio.
did.
know.
I did. I did.
oh, you did? Where?
I did.
In
Gmail.
mail?
Yeah, we'll do
Yeah.
this
Really?
off air. We don't want to do this on air. Yeah. She'll resend it.
Oh,
If she
wait,
has to, she'll
wait a
resend it in the
second.
WhatsApp chat.
It
If you
must
don't
be in
find it,
spams
send it in
then.
WhatsApp chat. Yeah, we can send it in the WhatsApp chat. Anyway, we're talking about universities and
Okay,
Donald
I
Trump.
will check later. Okay.
Yeah, and if not, she can just put it in WhatsApp, and then you'll have it.
Yeah,
we
No,
don't
then
know
you
where she
have it,
lives.
and I
you
don't want.
cannot
I don't want
see it.
Steven to have my address.
Yeah,
so.
and I will
Listen,
immediately
is-
delete.
Listen, the only reason that you want me to have is because when Rachel gave us her address, we just posted it online for everybody. I mean, other than that, I don't see anything
Exactly.
wrong with it. So,
Rachel? Who's Rachel?
Rachel was with it on a show called Social Intercourse, and they had live sex. It was great. The show was out of the, and she's a little Asian. She's all of
Think
3 feet. She's
of
3
other
feet tall. Yeah. So,
Three
oh no, it was a girl. She's 3 feet tall. That's it. And when she drives the car, she sits on phone books and has to use
She's
blocks
3
for
feet
that.
tall? You mean like that?
She's a meter tall. Yeah, she's a meter tall. That's as tall. That's Rachel.
Do you
Oh,
remember
that's
this? It was
3D
white.
Yeah, there's Rachel's actual height.
Very cool.
That's very nice.
Yeah,
my friend.
I tested yesterday. Finally, I got some time with the airbrush, and
Nice.
I have to say that it doesn't look so good, but it's better in real life.
I
But
like it. It
it's
looks
the
very nice.
destroyed one. You see, you can see the
Right.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's not destroyed the design; it's destroyed. It's destroyed in general.
But it looks good, Adam.
It looks
Yeah.
very nice, yeah, but it needs some details and some. I didn't do any sanding here. I didn't do any. I didn't put any prime. You know, there is a specific steps, some specific steps that I have to take for it to be the best. But I'm just testing now, and yeah, it's very nice. This is the one, and another one which has only one color. This ivory. This was red last time,
Very
and I
nice.
will try
Oh.
to paint this in different color. So
Okay.
I will cover those with some tape. So yeah, we're slowly going somewhere, and I think it's very nice.
Very nice.
I
Very
like it
cool.
very much.
Yeah. All right. Listen, we're on YouTube.
Oh, that's
We're
it.
gonna be-
YouTube is
we're gonna
going
be
to
banned.
kill us.
Yeah.
So you're, you're shadow
That's
banned
okay.
now.
90% of our shows are restricted anyway because it's a topic that AI or the YouTube
I am
AI doesn't
naked,
like.
to be honest. Under my clothes, I'm naked. YouTube, I'm naked.
Everybody's naked under the
Everybody is naked under
Their
the
clothes.
clothes.
That is true. So anyway, what we were discussing before we went off on a tangent, we were talking Trump is withholding payment to universities for different things. Columbia, he said, because the Jews couldn't go to school. And we're just talking about education in general. And is it what it used to be here in America? And that's
But
one of
tell
the
me
topics
something.
today.
Did he? My question: did he also prohibited the protest in general in the universities?
Did he know he wasn't president when they were protesting against Palestine? It was Biden.
Yeah, but now,
you can protest.
Did he prohibit it?
No, you can protest. I think the problem that they have is what he said about Columbia is that they didn't do enough to protect the Jewish students because the Jewish students were actually getting physically harassed, and that was the issue.
Well, that
It's kind
was
of
not
like people,
nice anyway.
no,
Because
well, no, but protest is fine. Like I don't care if you want to have signs and a picket. I'm good with that.
yeah. But
Now,
harassing
even with tests,
another,
harassing other people and destroying property. No, like I'm watching people on the
especially
news.
universities. Those are young guys. You know, if they don't, you know, they don't learn from the beginning that violence is. Then we turn into stuff like that. That what's going on in general.
The best protest I've ever seen was in South Korea. We were going to do a deal with
Yeah.
SK, which is a South Korean telephone company, and we were there, and we were just there to do something for them, and they thought we were buying it as Americans, like the 1,000 people lined up outside of the building, and I'm like, this is interesting, and they're here for you, and I'm like, ooh, fans. But they all dressed. They had black pants on, a nice, beautiful black like members only jacket. They
Symbolism.
all looked alike, and I don't mean just because they were Asian, but they were dressed alike. They looked alike. I mean, it was all. And they were like, they're going to storm the building because they think you're going to sell SK to an American company. I'm like, no, we're selling you an American company. So it was hysterical. So
Men
we
in
couldn't
black.
meet with the board at their corporate headquarters. And what they ended up doing is they said, we have to get you out of the building. And it's a gorgeous building in a town. So they have these metal doors that come down. I mean, like you're sealed into the building, like no one's getting in. And so they go, where's your driver? And we go in the basement. And the security guy's like, we're going to take you to the basement. So they take us to the basement, and all the doors are sealed except for this very huge mammoth truck door, wide open. Like if you were a rider, if you just went around the back, you could have come up. Then they're like, we'll just put you out there. And I go, do you seal this door? They go, no, we never sealed this. I'm like, okay, did they not know apparently? So we just drove, and we're sitting at the traffic light in front of the building, and these riders are looking in our car, and I'm just waving. And they're like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, oh, Americans, they don't know. And we're driving off, and I'm thinking, hey, now they can storm the building. So the best riding ever, South Korea. It was very protest, but nobody got hurt. The Tesla riding, I don't like. I'm okay that you pick a Tesla. I'm not okay with them burning the Teslas. I think people were throwing like Molotov cocktails at them and stuff. That I have a problem. I'm like, if you want to say Tesla sucks and Elon sucks, I'm good with that. You can have all the signs you want.
Well,
It
depends on how. Look, maybe they know the future also, because it's like we started the show. Vicky, I asked him, "Is this going to end well?" And he says no. So, well, this is part of not going things well. So, but it's just the beginning, you know. It's
true.
What do you think, Vicky?
You know, violence brings violence in general.
That's true. That's true.
So what he is doing is kind of violence now, right now, and it'll go into violence, physical violence anyway. And now you can see we've been talking quite long. I don't know. We talked 2 years, 3 years, I don't know.
20, 30.
It's more than 2 years, I think.
In more than 2 years, yes, we've been doing
And,
it for more than 2 years.
I've said many times that the stake now in the world is democracy, any kind of democracy, whatever democracy we have, at least in the West, and regimes which are like dictatorships or something like that. And the news that I read in the Greek newspaper, because I said that we're gonna comment the second news that it will be in one newspaper, because I just woke up, so I didn't know what's going on in the world. It was about Turkey. It was about Turkey, because
I
in
had some
Turkey
last
now,
night. It was wonderful.
because in Turkey they, what happened there?
Yes, I saw an AFT over the weekend.
Yeah, we will say it very quickly that there is this Erdogan who is the president there, and he's actually prosecuting and chasing his opponent, who might probably win him in the next elections. He probably doesn't want to win, although the Turkish constitution doesn't allow for a third run.
Neither does ours,
but
Adam.
he will
But
change
I'm willing
it.
to. I'm willing to bet
It's
you
not a
that-
problem. This is not a
Neither
problem.
does ours. Neither
Right.
does the United States. But I'm willing to be the orange man. Will be here past
Well,
2080.
yeah, it is your problem too. I know you think that's only the United States in the world, but it's
But
everything.
I've tried. No, I don't, because I've actually lived the real life, and I've traveled the globe, and I've probably visited. The UN has 200 and some odd charted, 205 I think charted countries. I've been to 70% of them. So no, I've actually lived a life. I don't live in my little bubble. I actually go out and do shit. The other thing that you have to think about is in the FT today is the new nuclear arms race. The new nuclear. Charles de Gaulle said the reason that France has nuclear arms, this was back after World War II, is he said, I don't trust the United States. It only took 70 years, 80 years for it to come to fruition, but he was right. So now you have Japan, China. Oh, China has nuclear arms, but you have Japan,
No, Japan
Poland.
doesn't have.
Oh, Japan doesn't.
You say those who want to.
Here's now the new countries that want nuclear. Japan really is a little worried about saying they want a nuclear bomb because of what happened back in the 40s.
Korea too, probably.
Right.
Korea does too. Yeah.
Korea wants one. China already has one. We know Missile Boy, Vicky's lover, has one. Poland is looking now for nuclear. Germany is looking for nuclear. UK already has. So now we're going to go back into the nuclear arms race because people think America now is undependable, which also means whoever the new idiot that comes in 2008, 2009, if Trump doesn't leave, they're not going to trust us anymore because you know what they're going to say? You had this moron, and because of that, we don't trust you. So now we're going to go back to, if you will, a Cold War state of alert. This is going to be very interesting.
No,
to
it's
see.
more dangerous, I think, because there are many players important. That means that the possibility for a mistake or something like that, for an accident, it's not an accident, it's a
It's
disaster,
going to be a boom boom. It's going to be a big boom boom.
is higher, yeah.
Here's what it looks
Well,
like.
look, but we don't want to be, oh, it never even changes your hair.
And before the nuclear, we do this. Snap some balloons.
And we are in
we
this
go,
stage.
and then we go boom. So, what do you think about all this, Vicky? You just woke up.
I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know. Is it a bad thing? Because then if everybody has them,
Not everybody.
well,
the nukes?
Everybody's going to start.
Yeah.
Is what the article was saying.
Right. It's they're getting the ball rolling. So at some point, everybody's going to have them. So then it's like no one having them. It's kind of,
Is it? But let me ask you
well,
this:
other than the possibility of there being,
Missile Boy
accidents
going
like we
crazy?
said. Right. I mean, there's obviously that's someone's going to screw up somewhere, and there's going to be some kind of big boom boom. But I mean, maybe it is better that we're not the only ones, us and Russia, or the two Cold War powers.
Maybe we shouldn't have. Maybe we shouldn't have
it.
Yeah, the best it would be nobody would have them.
Yeah, I don't see why we need them. I mean, realistically, we don't need. I mean, you could just. And I know no one. We're never going to get rid of it on the NP.
I think this is something that.
I know what you mean. I agree.
Yeah.
Because I said last time that we'd better do some more positive shows because everywhere. No, I would say the positive is that after him, I don't know how he'll go. He's old also, but he's got children, like Vance and guys like that.
Yeah. And his child can turn on a laptop, Adam. We found out now the Baron knows how to turn a laptop on and off. So with that kind of high tech ability, where the future is, we're good.
I think after him,
what's that?
After him, there'll be a lot of changes, positive changes. But I mean,
oh, sorry, Adam. He was talking about something about I don't remember what the interview was. But I just saw the clip, and he was talking about how smart Baron is, and like Trump went in and he turned off his laptop because he was misbehaving or something. I went in there and I turned that laptop off, and then he turned around and he turned it back on. That guy was so smart. He went in and turned his laptop back on. I mean, my God, he's like ready for MIT because he turned it back on. After Daddy turned it off. Yeah, shocking.
Yeah. Well, this is what we have running the country now.
Yeah, exactly. And he has a finger on the button. So, like, what's the difference? What's the difference between him doing it and everybody else?
But I'm amazed about you guys, American, because
why are you amazed?
Something like this happened in Greece.
Yeah.
We would be on fire. We would be already in a state of
people in America we're ostriches. 90% of this country, there's 360 million of us. Let's say 300 million of us basically stick our head in the sand. They don't know what's going on. They don't care what's going on. And the people that think they know are probably, most of them are the ones that voted for Trump. In the article that we talked about at the very beginning of the show, that we getting rid of funding for the universities, they're talking about 60% of the Trump voters don't have a college education.
Right.
And then there's another percentage
that don't others also have.
Right. And there's another percentage that don't have a high school education. Right. It's like, here's the problem. If you don't have people to make things better, now maybe they're all hoping that AI becomes the overlord and we become like the Terminator and they just control us and then put a chip in your brain and you know everything. And that's great, I guess. But at some point, you got to really start thinking. We talked about this on the Lost Dollar Business Club the other day. You have to think past tomorrow. And nobody thinks Like that's why I like the Asians. The Chinese have a 1,000-year plan. The Japanese have a 100-year plan. The Koreans just have when is Vicky coming back plan. It's all good. So,
I like that plan.
Yeah, you like that plan, right? So,
Yeah.
but we as Americans, our plan is
Yep.
it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh, what's our plan at 9? We don't think 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 100 years out. And that goes whether it's people
Oh, you
or
do. You
corpse.
should see
No, we don't.
Greece.
No, we'll agree. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying we're supposedly the most powerful nation on the world.
We're
Everybody
living the
envies us,
moment.
and we don't think. You know what? Living in
Greece
the
was living
moment is
yesterday.
cool. Yeah, listen, living in the moment is great when I'm just doing goofy shit. When I'm hanging out with the guys and we're smoking cigars and drinking scotch or at dinner, that's living in the moment. But if I have to seriously control a country or control a company or control a bureaucracy within our government, I can't think of, hey, what am I doing at 5 o'clock? I have to say, okay, in 4 years when I'm gone and somebody else is running this, what do I do to make it better for them and put this on a path? You know, we don't have that. The guy at Rolls-Royce that just took over as the CEO, he understands that. Like he has them on a path now. So Rolls-Royce has gone from where they're going to be out of business tomorrow to where now they're a viable company. And there's not a lot of CEOs like that. And that's a problem. And there's not a lot of leaders like that. They're all about what they can do today. And that doesn't work. I don't know. I know nothing. I'm just a finance guy. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, they all want to just make their millions and enjoy their life, and they don't really care about what comes after because they don't care about what comes after.
I think
It
millions are not
sounds
enough
trite,
now.
but you know what I mean?
We're talking about billionaires now.
Yeah. $1 million, you're poor.
Yeah, the legacy of the
that's
Carnegies, you know, and
pennies.
building libraries and stuff, that's all gone. They don't care about
Yeah.
leaving a legacy. They don't care about what their role in history is going to be or what's better for the next generation. It's all selfish. Like how much money can I make for me and my shareholders, or how much
So
can
guys,
glorify
I
myself?
tell you I always tell you the roots of this problem. You don't listen.
Yes, sir.
I'm saying about the philosophy.
we
It's
know.
about it's philosophic issue. It's philosophic issue.
It is.
That's the outcome of materialism. I mean,
Yeah.
materialism is saying something very specific. There's no God, there's nothing. Enjoy your life. When you die, nothing happens. You just all your pains are away, and that's it.
Okay.
That's the philosophy. That's a metaphysic of that's a real outcome of materialism. Of course, there are a lot of people saying, "Oh, but it's evidence about science and everything like that." Who says that we are not supporting science and the guys on the other, the idealists?
Right.
Who says that we are not? Of course we do. Of course we do. We don't say things, but we are just reading science in a different way. You know, education. It's not only that makes you free. It only it wakes you up. You just see things. You see more things. You think more. You think in more levels. You know, you enjoy more your life because you can understand more. You can in education. With education, we learn other languages, for example. So it's good to know other languages. All the stuff. You know, this is knowledge. The more knowledge you have, the more human you are. That's about being human.
I don't know about that. I mean, like I know languages. Yen, AD, Yan. I know all the languages. But no, I'm just saying I think what makes you human is experiences. I think learning and thinking is a wonderful thing.
Well, look. Now they are stripping the American educational system. It's an experience.
I got excited. You said stripping. Sorry, you said stripping. I got really excited. Okay. Stripping American education. Yeah, who cares? Listen, these kids are stupid anyway. I mean, like if you talk to them, like I was at South by Southwest when it was here a couple of weeks ago, and I'd be standing and I'd be listening to these 20-year-olds or even 30-year-olds speak, and I'm like, wow. Someone should just take you out back and just shoot you. You're useless as a human being. And they're like, I run this gun. And I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like, really? I mean, like, they don't have a clue. They can't form a sentence. They can't do that. It's like everything's, oh my God, it's too hot. Seriously? Like, they can't walk a block. It's like shocked at the pussiness.
So they feel uncomfortable and they will feel less uncomfortable if there are more people like them.
Yeah, but that's part of the educational system. That's part of parenting. That's just, we have lost in America, maybe the world, I don't know. We have lost ourself. We have gone the way of nothing.
Oh, we have lost it long before, but now it's
Well, we don't.
just, you know, the
But back in at least in the 70s and
payback.
the 80s and a little bit in the 90s, there was still parental guidance. There was still education. There was still this. There was still that. Now it's just kind of like nothing. You know what I mean? It's like there's nothing. I feel bad.
Well,
for
if
the
there is
people.
nothing, then we have hit the bottom. But it
We are at
seems
the
we
bottom.
haven't hit the bottom yet.
What's bottom?
If we have if we have not hit the bottom, that means
But
that
what's the
there'll
bottom
be
then?
more.
It can't. Yeah. Well, can't get any worse than what we're at.
But I mean,
Oh,
like,
don't
Stephen,
say it! Don't say it. The Greeks
Yeah,
were
really,
saying
ask
that
for it.
in 2015, and I was saying to them,
That's true.
never underestimate how bad things can become.
Oh, it's going to get
So-
worse here. I already know that. I mean, we haven't. We're in it. We're still not out of the 2008 depression, not a recession, but a depression. And Mr.
Yeah.
Trump is going to put this country into worse
Mm.
because everything's going up. I mean, the joke is about the price of eggs, right? When he was running for president, the eggs are $4. I'm going to bring them down. Eggs are $10 a dozen now. So no, you haven't brought them down.
$10. My God!
Yeah,
Oh my
$10. And
God!
that's
Do you want me
I know.
to export? Because I have
Chickens.
fresh eggs from a friend
Yeah,
here.
send them-
Because I
send
live
them
in a
over here.
village.
Yeah, it'll
He
cost
brings.
you
He
more.
always asks me, "Do you have eggs?" I say, "Send them. Send them to America.
Send to
You
America.
become
They want money.
rich."
There's starving
You
children
become
in
rich.
America. Send them.
Yeah, they have a
That's right, there
shortage
are.
of eggs.
But no, it's just the economy is going to get worse. He's screwing around with these tariffs and this other crap. Our dollar is going to be worth nothing.
Yeah, but Stephen,
yeah.
Oh
what
my God! I have some
generation is
dollars.
he?
He's
not-
he-
He's not.
he's
The
he's
ones
from
that
the
are fucking
40s.
it all up, yeah, are not the kids of today. Sidebar, yes, I agree with some of the things you said about them being useless, but you know, they didn't spring out of the womb that way. Like it's a loss of, you know, society and
Mhm.
parenting and education and all that stuff. We have failed that generation, and that generation of, you know, the pandemic and all that, being isolated. Like, we don't understand what that's like. We don't understand growing up seeing a camera in your face and not your mother's face. We don't understand, you know, not having interaction, not having a high school graduation because it's all been online. Like, yeah, they can't communicate, but there's a reason for it. It's not necessarily their fault, but like the ones who are in charge now are the ones that are like making these
It's
decisions
never
and making us
children's
look
fault.
ridiculous
It's
and all that
never
kind of
children's
stuff.
fault.
Well, I mean, you have some, you know, once you reach adulthood, you have responsibility for yourself to educate yourself and not be an idiot.
Yeah, but I was talking about children.
Yeah.
Have you watched the
But, like, you know, Trump and
adolescents, the
those guys,
hype
that's a different generation.
Netflix show they're talking about? Any one of you?
What's it now?
It's a show that is. I've seen it. I haven't watched it, but because I'm watching an older one, the Leftovers. If you heard about it,
I had
But,
leftovers the other day. They were wonderful. It was some meatloaf and it had some stuff on it. It was very good. Anyway,
yeah,
what's
yeah.
the
But
show
now
you're
there
talking
is a
about?
new one. It's called Adolescence,
No,
and everybody's talking about it. That's really, really good. And it's talking about children, and what Vicky is talking about now.
The problem is that we
need to
spare
watch
the rod
it,
trap.
I think.
No, I don't. We need to go back to the way it was. Don't spare the rod. Kid talks back to you, slap him in the face, get it over with, and be done. My generation.
He's a Trumpist,
no.
inside.
Listen, when I was a kid, we talked about
I
this,
think
a couple of
so.
us the other day. When you were driving in the car, and if you mouthed off to your parents, your dad would like have your mom hold the steering wheel and just give you a slap. You didn't mouth off anymore. Kids today
So
get away
what?
with murder. That's the problem. They get away with things, and we don't do that. My generation, we don't do that. We got soap in the mouth when we swore, which didn't help. But I mean, we got spankings
Yeah.
Did you
on our
like it?
bums. And
Did
that's
you like
I
it?
actually did. It was good. It was nice brown soap. It was like,
Oh,
Hi,
that's
boy.
masochist.
So, but I'm just saying,
It's masochistic.
it's a different society, and we don't discipline them. We just say, Johnny, you'll stand there. I want to be I don't want to be my kid's friend. You're a little fucking biological unit. My job is to make you the best person you can. That's it. And these parents want to be, I don't want to be your friend. Get the fuck out. I mean, like, you have
Then
to
you're
teach
not
them
going
to
to
be adults.
educate them.
Right.
Actually, old school. Listen.
Then you
They're gonna
don't
have to
believe
now. There won't be
you
school
don't
for them
believe
to
in
go
love,
to.
for example, for your children.
love
You
is-
believe
well,
only in
no.
order.
Love is fine for a child because you have to give them love. It's like a dog.
It's
You have
not
to give them
fine. It's
love.
everything.
No,
you have
but you
to
also
give them
have
love.
to.
If you don't
can
give
be
them love,
stern and discipline a child and still give them love. No difference.
Won't matter.
I'm from
They'll
the
be dumb now because they can't go to school.
if you're not friends with them, they're not gonna tell you their secrets.
I don't need to know their secrets. That's what.
Oh,
Well,
you
listen,
do.
I don't come from
Now
that
you don't
generation.
because you don't have young children. But
Yeah, but I don't come from that generation. Like we didn't tell our parents like, how are things? Things are great. It's
it's
like
not about
don't worry about the
generation.
fire.
It's about common
Don't worry
logic.
about the fire. We'll take
And
care of it.
what psychology is telling us. We're not
Psychologists don't
psychologists.
know crap. They're a bunch of idiots.
Oh, you
Stop
know.
with this stuff. I don't know. Listen, all I know is that you need a
What if
strong.
Trump was up and was saying psychology is no shit?
I would say, he's
Let's
100% spot on.
abolish them. Let's delete, cancel them. Cancel
Oh, well, he's
psychology.
gonna do. He's
Would you
gonna do that
support that?
anyway. Yeah, sure.
You would
Why not? He's gonna
support
do
it.
it anyway. He's gonna do it anyway. I don't care. It's like, yeah, I'm not psychologist. I don't think. I
What
never
do you care
understood why.
about?
I don't. What do I care about? What do I care about? Seriously, scotch and cigars. That's it. So that's all I
Soon
care.
you won't have money for them.
No, we'll always have money. That's easy.
Or
But I'm
you
just
will use
saying.
it too much because the things will go that bad that you'll become an alcoholic.
No, never. No.
And
Nothing's ever that bad.
and cigar like me, cigar smoker again.
Cigar. Listen, everybody has to have a hobby, whether it's I play golf or I smoke my cigars or I do whatever.
Yeah, but somehow
Everything's within
harmful.
everything's within, none of that's harmful. Everything's within moderation. I'm good with that. And the other thing is, and I don't. People are like, oh, Rodney Dangerfield had this great joke, and his joke was, "What am I going to do? I'm going to go take good care of myself. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to be miserable, and one day I'm going to get hit by a bus." So if you think through
What
that,
happened?
you're going to die. So enjoy your life. I mean, I know nobody wants to die, but we're going to. Whether you die when
Yeah,
you're,
but you're saying
whatever, or you live to
what to enjoy
120.
when you're gonna die. You're
But I'm
saying the
just
same
saying,
that I was saying about
yeah,
materialists. You're saying, guys, we're gonna die anyway.
yeah,
So let's fuck it up.
enjoy.
Let's blow it up.
No,
Mhm.
no,
And
there's a difference.
if you're at the age of Trump, of Putin, of
Oh,
Erdogan, those guys are over 70s,
yeah,
and
they're ready to go
it
anyway.
seems
That's why they're
it
ready.
seems to me that there is so much hate inside them that they are old and they're gonna die that they say
That's why. So they're
fuck it
taking out
all.
on the world. But see, the problem is all the people they're putting in power or putting into these offices are all in their 30s, 40s. I guess there's some older people. So they should be looking at this as like, this isn't good because I would like to live another 100 years or whatever. Maybe we should do stuff. And they don't. They're just like, yes, leader. Yes, great leader.
Well,
It's like bad.
if we would invest instead of weapons into medicine and science and AI,
Yeah.
of course, etc., because it helps a lot, then yeah, we could live
Listen,
much longer,
according to according
much
to
longer.
according to the new administration, there's no more global warming. Climate change is a hoax. I guess everybody's going to
Yeah,
be nuclear armed.
good luck
We
with
have to
that.
have, we have to have condos in Gaza, which is going to be great. Put me down for a penthouse. And then what else is going? I mean, like, there's nothing. The world is really the movie Idiocracy. This is what we've
Yeah.
turned into. The globe is
Yeah.
now Idiocracy. That movie was made 10 or 15 years ago. I watched it the other day. It's very
Yeah.
stupid and I could barely get through it. But when I look at it, I'm like, oh, pretty much where we are today. So yeah,
Mm.
I haven't watched what
it's
is
called
When it
about.
came out, no
Idiocracy.
one believed it.
Yeah, Owen Williams. Gatorade is they use Gatorade to water the lawn, and finally somebody's like, "Let's use water," and then things start growing. The guy, this guy's a genius. It's like that's where we are. We're like whatever the emperor says, we do. We're going to lose our freedom of everything. And that's what people don't get. And when they finally lose it, like they
I'm
did in
not
the
going to lose
30s in
it.
this other little the country that begins with a G, then it's too late because they're already
Mhm.
there. And nobody thinks to that, like, it'll never happen. And the people that want it to happen, once again, okay, but careful for what you wish for.
Oh
That
yeah,
we
that's true. That's true. Yeah,
and we did a show with Brown Car Guy, and
support
he
this.
said this is 2 months ago, and Vicky was on the show, that
Mm.
people under 25 globally said they would love to live under a dictatorship. And we
Dictatorship.
were all
Yeah.
shocked. Yeah, we were all shocked by that. Like, really? Like, they think a dictatorship would be better.
A benevolent dictatorship.
Yeah,
They don't
well, there's
understand
no
the opposite.
benevolent. Yeah, it
Right.
doesn't work that
They
way. There's
don't
no
get they don't
benevolent.
get the other side, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they wanted.
But I'm
Yeah.
fascinated by that stupidity. It's like you don't want democracy. You want somebody that says you're going to wear, like Mao, if you will. You're going to wear this outfit every day. This is where you're going to
Well,
work. This is who you're
But
going to marry.
look, there is some little truth into that, a little, and
Yeah.
we can see it practically with China. China is growing and is growing really, really, really fast. It's growing much faster. This is the actual fear of Trump, and that's why maybe he wants Russia, closer to him, and etc. etc. But China is fast because there is dictatorship. To be honest, they're very fast with decisions. They don't have democracy to vote like in Europe. They're always accusing Europe of being slow. But look, it's the first time in human history a project like that, like Europe, European Union. We are talking about 27 countries to different interests, with different languages, different everything, traditions, and we need to meet everyone, and and talk about things. And some guys say, this one, the other one, the other. For example, we have one guy. He's in Hungary. It's Orban. He's pro-Russian, totally not hiding at all. He's voting. He's voting, vetoing every decision for Ukraine and everything like that. So he's European Union's pushing him aside, and a lot of people in Europe will say, throw them away. Throw them away, because they just want to take the money from the European Union and not obey to the rules that everybody has there. So it is a problem now, and there will be steps for this.
Well,
but Europe,
Adam,
Europe is not saying much about what's going on in Turkey right now, because they want them, into the team that will, the peace, the peace. When there will be the final agreement on Ukraine, the Turkish are going to go there, soldiers, and going to keep the peace, making the peacemaker, the peacekeepers, or how they say it. Because Putin says he doesn't want NATO there, but with Turkey he's okay. So let's make an exception.
Once I try and tell my European friends, it's like, we don't understand. America, what are you doing? Like, how are you electing Trump? Like, what are you blah, blah, blah. Imagine that the US is the European Union. We have so many different states, different accents, different agendas, different cultures, all that kind of stuff. And we all have to agree on one person. It's actually amazing that it works as well as it does, because it doesn't work in Europe. Like, it's getting there, maybe.
Yeah, because Europe it's much newer project, and it's more difficult. You have accents, we have different languages and traditions, totally. And we're talking about countries.
The parallels there.
We're talking about countries which 80 years ago, like Germany and Poland, they were fighting each other. It was a war here, and even earlier, even like in Balkans, there were wars. That now the countries are trying, to get along and get into the European Union. And this is a peace project. Most of all, it's a peace project. But since then, we don't have any wars here. It was always wars here in Europe. It was always wars here.
And since Yugoslavia went away and Toto, that was it. If that Yugoslavia and Toto was there still, it would be great. I'm just kidding. Kids are like, Yugoslavia? What's Yugoslavia?
Yugoslavia was a country with many countries inside. It's kind of like Spain, because in Spain, for example, Catalonia, the Barcelona, region, they want independence, and the Basque country also, they want independence. Those are different nationalities. They don't feel Spanish; they feel Catalonians or Basques.
Sure.
And it's like UK. It's different things. Scotland, different thing. England.
Well, Scotland has the Loch Ness Monster, so that's why it's different.
Sorry?
Scotland has the Loch Ness Monster. That's why. That's why.
Yeah, but there's also
Scotland actually lost that vote.
Northern Ireland.
They voted
not to be independent. Yeah.
So.
Even though they said they wanted it, it didn't pass.
It didn't pass, and there are still voices, that say when there was Brexit, they wanted to have another one, but they say no.
Oh, sure.
It's just, I think the biggest issue here, other than how children get raised. We'll skate by that one for now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
with that
just
one aside, because
table
that
that.
one, that could be 17 different shows. Is that nobody is educated. I mean, even if you're educated, you're not educated. Nobody takes the time to read a book. They look at TikTok and Instagram, they're like 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. So no one takes time to read a history book. No one takes time to learn history. No one learns really to
Stephen,
think.
I know people who are very educated but still are stupid, in my opinion. No,
Well, then we should have them taken out back like a horse. So
and
let's
it's a
get
lot.
rid of the stupid people.
I think. Look, the educational systems, at least
Yeah.
here in Europe, but I think also in America. I think in general, they have a lot of problems. They have a lot of
You
problems. I
think?
think the graduates are not that educated. Like they. Here, I agree with you with the past. Like you say,
Right.
the days. How you say it? Uh, you call it how you call the past. You say a specific
He
word.
says, in
Past?
Back
my
in the day. Back in the
generation,
day. Back in the
Oh,
day.
back in
back
the
in the day.
day, when
Back
Back
in
I
the day.
was
in the day. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
back in the
and
day.
at that
Back in the
time,
day.
when you had a degree, when you had a university college
It meant
finished,
something.
it meant something. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
were considered really educated, and so it's not the case now. No.
No, today nobody cares if you have a degree. And it's interesting.
Oh, the Trumpists care. They
Yeah,
jealous.
Camp doesn't care. Stop
They're
it.
jealous, and they don't want others to have it. They want
Well,
them to
that's true.
become stupid as they are.
Right.
So
If you're looking at it that way, then yes, those people don't seem to
what?
care. But I don't know.
What's the
I just
reason you think that he is dismantling
well,
dismantle?
he's not dismantling
Uh,
it. He's just pulling funds. I'm not, you know, it depends how you look at this. It's like I can understand where it's like, why is the government giving, Columbia University $400 million? I know the government gives money to universities to do, scientific
it's for the
testing and whatever.
research. The research
I know
that
for
the
research. No, I get
American.
that. I don't. No, no, I understand why we give them money for. As I was saying, for research and whatnot. I don't understand why we give them for other things. So I can understand if you're pulling money for liberal arts or whatever, this or that, and you just want to continue research. But if we're pulling money just to dumb everything down, now he wants to tax their endowments and do this and do that. And there's a pro and a con to all that. It's just, it seems like he's really just trying to destroy America. So, I mean, you know what I mean? And there's an article, like I
Trying
said, in
to
the FT,
destroy
there's
the
an article in
world.
there's an article in the FT that talks about how he wants to make ships like we made them in World War II. So we got a big maritime fleet, and everybody's like, well, "Are you kidding?" So it's sort of like it's like he's living in the 40s, but he wants us to be more like Russia. And I don't mean like Russia, like before communists fell, like during
I mean,
communism.
Soviet Union.
Yes, thank you. The Soviet Union, the
The
USSR, for
Soviet
the
Union
people
was
that
a
don't know.
dictatorship.
Yes, I'm well aware. The USSR is what it looks like. So I don't see when he goes, "We're making America great again," which it was already fine. Where you're making inflation or a depression coming. There's going to be food shortages. There's going to be energy shortages. There's going to be this. There's going to be that. You're
Yeah, but
arming the
there's not
world
going to
again.
be Kamala and her laughter and woke agenda. You don't count this?
Yeah, but see,
There is a price to abolish those things, and the price is that
that's the Democrats' fault
they
for just
think
being
that it's worth it.
right. But that's the Democrats' fault for being stupid. Like Fetterman out of Pennsylvania, he pretty much he gets it, and so does Josh Stein, who's the governor of Pennsylvania. Those two guys should probably run against Trump, and they probably would win.
Have you seen the
Yeah,
crowds that Bernie and AOC are getting when they're doing on their tour now?
yeah,
They're
but those two
getting
can't win. Those two can't win the presidency. Bernie's too old.
no. I
Um,
don't mean that they're going to run into the presidency, but I'm just saying there's not just two. There's more than two.
yeah, but no, I'm talking people
But
that could beat Trump in an election, which would be
Stephen,
Fetterman and
after 4 years,
yeah.
everyone would be able to beat Trump. I
No,
mean, it
no,
will
no,
be a necessity.
no.
It will be a necessity for change. Whoever is,
well,
the
I will tell
opponent.
you,
That's the Democrats'
But
mistake. They think
but
that it's not true.
you're talking still about democratic procedure of voting and stuff like
yeah,
this. Is
because
it
I'm an
going
old
to
school.
happen? Is
I
it
think
going to
so
happen
because
like that?
I
Like it
think
used to be
so.
back in the day?
Yeah, back in the day, and I think so because
I'm not sure about it.
I think you have too many people that remember back in the day, and I think they're not good. They don't want a king. Um, I also think there's an article in the FT was talking about Republicans in the state of Utah, and that they are 90% of them are federal government employees, and a lot of them lost their jobs. So when the senator that or the congressman went to go visit them, the article said he literally got lambasted for like hours and he couldn't say anything. They're all like, I lost my job. I voted for Trump. I'm a federal employee. I actually do my like, and he's like, and so I think a lot of what's going to happen in the midterm elections is you're going to see it go, if the Democrats get balls and actually can speak about something other than woke and transgender and bullshit and start talking about real policy, I think you're going to see Democrats go back into the Senate and you're going to see them go into Congress. That'll translate into the White House. Now, unless
Yeah,
Trump
but that's
has
in 2 years, right?
next year. So unless there's
Next
some
year.
evil,
Okay.
26. Yeah. So unless there's some evil great plan that Trump isn't telling everybody and he knows how he's really going to fix everything and he's just doing this to cause craziness for a while, then in 28, when there's the presidential election, it's either going to be A, we won't have one because he's going to declare martial law. B, he's going to run again. He's going to make up there'll be some bullshit thing, or the Democrats won't have anybody strong enough. JD Vance is an idiot. I mean, I've heard him speak. I read what he writes, and I'm like, you have no clue. Marco Rubio is back down from being a guy to being a pussy. Sorry, Vicky. When he was talking about Ukraine 3 years
Being a
ago,
penis.
how they needed things and blah blah blah, and now he just sits
But
there. And
Vance was
acquiesces.
opposing Trump and was saying the worst about him also.
And he was calling him Hitler.
Yeah.
So listen,
Yeah.
these
But
guys.
something changed. What could
you know-
have possibly changed?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it could have
exactly.
possibly changed, right? That and power.
Yeah.
But that's the problem, and that's the issue.
Size does matter.
That's a if you don't really want to help the country and you're really just trying to line your pocket, and Trump's making no meme about I'm lining my pocket while I'm president, and that's not that violates a whole bunch of laws. Elon Musk is violating apparently the Constitution. So I know there's federal judges now that are like, no, can't do that. So you're really going to have a battle. And it really is going to have to be the American people now that are going to have to get their heads out of the sand, stop playing ostrich and go, you know what, enough's enough. We want America to be a democracy.
You have to
If they
go
don't,
on the
if they don't want to
roads.
be, if they don't want to be a democracy, then that's fine. We will be a dictatorship. And I think that's when you see civil war. I think that's when I say that somewhat tongue in cheek, but I think that's when you're going to start seeing some of these good old boys going, nope, that's not what I voted for. And, they're not going to tolerate it. I think you're going to see veterans not tolerate it. You see these people like, no, we're good. And
At the end, yes, but
take
the question is what kind of damage will be done up to then, So it's up to the people. It's up to the people to decide when it's enough,
I think the people are getting
so
to that
they
point.
start
I think that's
going
the
out
election.
in the streets and protest because
I
that's
hope it
the way
doesn't get to that point. I would rather it doesn't get to that point.
Oh,
I'm
it
hoping
will.
we still,
It will,
I'm
Stephen, for
hoping
sure.
I know, but I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm hoping we do a democratic process where next year they do the vote,
That
they
would be
get
the
rid of
best.
whatever.
But
That would be good. I don't want to see us become one of these countries where 10 or 20 or 50,000 people line the streets and buildings are burning and people are dying.
Greece. You're talking about Greece.
Okay. I'm trying to not to, but I'm just saying I don't see where that benefits anybody. It sends it. What happens is then we have martial law.
Yeah, but
then,
people do it for a reason,
So, no, I understand it. They do it for effect. I understand that.
Yeah.
I would prefer, if we can, to do it the old-fashioned way, or back in the day way, with elections and discourse and people having a dialogue.
There were protests back in the day too.
I know, but not like that.
I don't know. I mean,
think
all the
even
people that I've
more.
seen that are like, I lost my job, I voted for Trump, this is what I wanted. I just wanted all the brown and black skinned people to lose their jobs and not me, yada yada.
Mhm.
I haven't heard any of them say, I'm going to vote Democrat in the next election. I wish I'd voted for Kamala. I wish I'd changed my vote. It's all, oh, isn't Trump going to help us? What are you guys going to do to fix this? They're still
Not the ones in
Trumpists.
Utah.
They're still red.
Right.
They're still. We'll see. We'll see when they actually vote. I don't think they're going to change. They're still
Okay,
going to vote for the
it's-
next Republican that's going to help them.
It's too early
think
because
so.
they're in a shock too. Still, I think, and they're seeing what kind of damage. On the other hand, it's politics in general, and we are not politicians. We don't know actually what's going on. All this stuff. We just hear what's on the news. On the news, it's always on the tip of the iceberg. Maybe they're doing stuff we don't know, and I'm sure they're doing, and they're just not, ready to say what it's exactly. But I think soon there'll be reactions, political reactions, I think, too, from Democrats. But the Democrats also have to show to the people that they have changed. Like you say, that we are not insisting on this kind of agenda, but this kind of agenda now, because this is the priority and this is, the need now. And the need is very obvious, that the democratic, countries are falling down, and there is less and less democracy. And it's not that we had that kind of democracy after all, because we have a system in every country. And the system, for example, okay, you've got in the United States 2 parties which exchange power all the time. We don't have it here. We have the ability to have many parties to participate and stuff like that. But still there is a system that mainly 2 parties are exchanging. And somehow maybe one another comes, and like that.
I would love it if we had 15 parties, and I would like it if it was just the popular vote and not the Electoral College from 1776.
I
mean,
like we got rid of daylight savings time.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, right. Daylight saving time, the Electoral College. Let's get rid of.
I think after Trump, you will have a change in the Constitution.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
You will.
I don't know if we're going to have a constitution.
It depends on the damage, but I think the damage will be bad. Will be great.
You know what's really interesting? I read this article, and there's a guy on Bloomberg that was talking about it. He goes, when they suspend payments and they do this and they do that, he goes, he says a lot of the stuff they're doing also affects the military. At some point, I'm figuring like the military is going to be like enough's enough. Spooks or us are going to be enough's enough. At some point, they're all going to be like, yeah, no, this isn't democracy. Unless they're all want a dictatorship. I don't know. But it's sort of like, when they screw around with Medicare and they screw around with Social Security, you're affecting a lot of people. And those people are going to get fed up. And that's a bad thing. And,
and that will make them, because that's it's a democratic thing to go and protest. It's a democratic. And
the last time you want to see is grandma protesting. It's bad when you see vets protesting when they closed the Veteran Administration and they had to bring everybody back. If you see grandma protesting, people are going to be
when the eggs will cost $50, they will go out.
They're getting there. They're getting there.
They will go out. At that point, they will go out.
I think they're going to go out.
I'm just not sure how much.
But the problem we know where it be, because I said it, because you said about the military and stuff. The problem will start when there will be an order. Shoot them.
Well, what did you say, Vicki? What was the thing? What were you saying?
I just don't see how protests are affecting policy or change anymore. I mean, there's people out there that it just doesn't, and I think it makes people feel like they're doing something. And I'm going to go out and protest, and feel better, but the government just ignores you and just waits you out, and they do what they want to do anyway. I don't see any direct correlation.
It depends on the consistency of the protesters and how many of them are out. Because if there is every week 2 million people, or you're a big country, like 10 million people in the streets, like here in Greece, for example, I've told you that there was a bad accident in the train. But but it turns out that there was a lot of political errors, a lot of corruption, a lot of money that from European Union that came into the trains, and now the European Union is investigating those, and there are a lot of money that went into the pockets and not to the trains. So there was this was also, and the European prosecutor said that if the money went into the project that they were for, there wouldn't be the accident. That's already enough. So the people are now, every now and then, they're going out. And the last one they went out, it was 28th. It was like almost a month ago. But there was like more than 1 or 2 million people. And this changed some things because the government took the message. Of course, not entirely, because they are playing their games. But they are kind of afraid. They are kind of afraid. They cannot look. They cannot face the 2 million people because there are children there, on the protests. They cannot shoot them. They cannot spray them. They cannot, water them like that.
Right.
So they have to let them protest.
But are they just waiting it out though? I mean, has it actually affected any change in the trains? Are they more afraid of the European Union investigating them than these protests? Are they just letting people protest?
They are afraid of everything. They are afraid of everything. You can see that they're losing power. They are kind of stressed, and they make mistakes. You can see that. There are obvious mistakes, and they have already fallen down in the polls. And there is kind of because there's not we have also facing kind of a problem also like you, that you have the opposition, the Democrats, we have all the others, but we don't have a very some party or a guy that would take them together and unite them and say we will face the government. So there's the political scene here in Greece is very in pieces, it's broken. Like we'll see, because it's still 2 years for the elections, but they might come earlier because of those things that are happening. And then in a democratic country, the government say, okay, I'm stepping down, so let's have a vote.
Not in ours.
Trump is not going. Trump, I don't
parliamentary.
think he's going to do that. And
No.
since he's not going to do that,
Look at
we are talking.
January 6th. We
are talking
the government.
What is going on in Turkey right now?
Yeah.
And Turkey, Erdogan is putting into prison the leader of the opposition. And yesterday there were votes. 15 millions go and voted for him. It's a big number. He's afraid. He's doing something really, really risky.
Trump doesn't seem to be afraid, because he's putting all his hench people. And
he is not afraid now. But if the people were, that's why I tell you, I was telling this to the other. We need to give to the people the hope, and I think hope is that unite. People unite. Okay. It's what was saying. What do you remember the movie with Charlie Chaplin, and his speech was very, very famous. Like he was
the Great Dictator.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, Vicky, you haven't watched this?
It's a black and white.
Okay, just watch.
Is there sound?
Yeah, with sound. But it's something we should all watch right now, because he's the whole story is that Charlie Chaplin was somewhere, in Europe, and he looks alike like Hitler. He has a mustache, and he impersonates him by mistake, something like that.
Okay.
And he's supposed to give a speech, and this speech is very, very famous. It's very inspirational, because he's talking about things what we're saying now.
Right.
And he says, I don't want to kill people. I want to free people. We shouldn't be machine man. Stuff like that. And it's really, really inspirational. We will go back to that. Look, we are going into some things of the past, back in the day, and take them back, because we need them. They were working and we need them, but not all of it.
So for all you people in America, The Great Dictator is on HBO Max, just to let you know. So if you have HBO or Max, you can watch The Great Dictator. So there you go. If you don't have HBO or Max, then I don't know.
But you can go to YouTube and watch, write the speech, Charlie Chaplin speech in The Great Dictator.
You're talking about Charlie Chaplin's final speech in The Great Dictator.
Yeah.
It's 3 minutes and 37 seconds long. Yes. That's
3 minutes only.
3 minutes and 37
It's one of the
seconds.
most inspirational, speeches on cinema, really. But it was. I don't remember. I think he did the movie during the war.
Yeah, he did. The movie was made in 1940. He was making fun of Hitler.
Yeah. Just 1 year after the war started. So, but they already knew, because the Nazis were from 1933 in the power.
Anybody that reads,
it was obvious what was going on about the Jews, about everything that he was.
Remember what Monty Python said: if you want to succeed, you always need a Jew. That's why Hitler didn't succeed. He had no Jews. So there you have it.
I'm okay with Jews. I like them a lot. I don't always agree with the politics.
I'm a Jew. So it's not good to be a Jew.
Yeah, but you Jews in Israel, because I follow those stuff, you don't agree on everything,
No, I don't agree with
There are people who are accusing Netanyahu for what he's doing right now, and Netanyahu is trying to avoid prison.
No kidding.
And he's accused by other Jews there, because it's a democratic country.
I don't see ICC putting arrest warrants for Putin or anybody. But anyway, no. Listen, back in the day when Moses and I would hang out, I would tell him I don't agree with everything.
You're that kind of old Jews, Old Testament and stuff.
I'm an old Jew. Like, parting of the. I was there when they parted the Red Sea. It was like a little lake. It wasn't that hard. But Judaism is one of those things where it's like, you because of things that have happened in our past, you just kind of look at it and go, okay, never again. So this and what's going on now in America reminds me of
Never
a very good
again
quote.
is
So it's
what
like
you
never again.
swore. The
Yeah, that's
time
true.
before.
And you know, and it's just the way it is. You have to, if you don't know the past, you can't help the future, and that's the problem.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
people don't know the past. Vicky, what do you have to say about all of this? You are here. You're ready. I know you. When are you going
She's
to Korea to see your
speechless.
lovers? When are
Well,
you going to see your lovers?
we talked about 87 million things. I don't know.
I know. Touch on one of them. Touch on your love in Korea.
Pick one. Oh,
No, say
I mean,
something
you know,
else
they're
that doesn't
having
have
lots
to
of-
do with politics, because we are kind of recycling the same things with new bullshit that is coming
Well,
along.
we're going to talk about the
Say something
maritime stuff
totally
next week.
different that it's on your
Yeah.
mind or bothering you or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
something that's on my mind. or
speak out.
bothering me,
You know.
Not political.
Yeah.
Oh, way to go, Vicky.
I've been watching the NCAA men's basketball tournament.
Oh, okay.
NCAA?
That's in
is-
my world
I
right now.
don't-
I've been
I don't
watching
know
college
it.
basketball. My
I can't
team,
watch.
that's
I
why
hate
I'm-
college basketball. It's too boring. I can only watch the NBA.
I hate the NBA because there's no excitement in it. That to me is
No.
There's tons.
it's too perfect.
Have you watched the Knicks
No,
play?
the
That's
Greek
always
freak
exciting.
is not good. The
That's too
Greeks
funny.
yesterday, there was football games, you know, UEFA
Soccer,
national
right,
leagues.
yeah.
The
Football.
Greeks
Uh-huh.
won Scotland, inside Scotland,
Yeah.
after losing 1-0 in Greece.
Uh-huh.
They won 3-0 in Scotland with
Nice.
very, very young guys. And there is a young talent. He's 17 years old. He also scored a goal.
Yeah.
And he's one of the biggest talent right now. And they are
Nice.
very excited here in Greece with that stuff.
Very cool. Congratulations.
Yeah,
to all
but on the other hand, you know, I see it all over the internet, and I say, okay,
here.
guys, we won. It's excitement. Are we going to, you know, I mean,
Exactly.
be happy for the next 4 years? There are other problems in life.
Yes, the ticket when you can
Those
get it. I
guys have
did
won.
see
No.
they finally elected a woman as the head of the IOC. I don't know, you know, I think the IOC is really corrupt. So whatever
Right.
they end up, you know, I don't know if she's going to be able to do anything different, but
She
We'll
just
see.
makes more money. Well, it'll be a chick now doing the corruption instead of a guy.
yeah,
Cool.
probably.
So there you
but
go.
I mean, we should have our piece of the corruption pie. Come on.
I agree. Now, I will say that I did watch the F1 this weekend, and I watched McLaren. Way to go,
Oh, is it
boys!
here?
Coming first and second. No, it was in China. But I did
Oh.
watch it. I have F1 TV. I'm special. They like me.
Okay.
But that
we
was
have
good
an
to
F1
watch.
track here, Adam. So I wasn't sure if it was here. If he was,
You know,
seeing
that
it.
comes. The F1 track here sucks. So yeah,
It
no, it's
does.
not like F1. F1.
What?
This is like
What's
redneck
what?
F1.
Deaf?
Formula
Circuit of
One.
America.
We
Yeah,
have a
but
track.
for-
We have an F1. We have the Circuits of America. They do F1 in I think it's October here. They'll do Vegas and they'll do Miami as well this year. Real F1.
You
you
go
have to
and
go to
watch.
Europe.
You're going to watch those?
I watch them
I
on
mean,
TV,
live?
but you can go. Yeah, I've gone to
You
them live,
can.
not here. I go to the ones in Europe or in
Okay.
the Middle East because they have their VIP treatment is much better than the US VIP treatment. Plus Vegas. Vegas gives you good VIP, but the rest of them, they don't have a clue what VIP means. So no. But you know, let's see. Yes, we'll broadcast live. They do have a problem though. Apparently, when we did go to the one here, they won't let you smoke cigars in the pit area. Apparently, it's something about things are flammable. Bunch of
I was going to
pansies.
say, duh.
I don't know. I don't know why. So you know, it's like I'm okay with it. So that's like Rodney Dangerfield. This is the last thing before we go. Bob Saget told this joke. Rodney Dangerfield was dying. He lit up a joint in the hospital, and meanwhile, he was on oxygen. So, you know, oxygen and flame doesn't mix.
Flammable.
And Bob Saget said to Rodney, he goes, Rodney, do you think this is a good idea? And he goes, I'm dying. Why is it a bad idea? So, you know, it's sort of like, okay, there you go. So I just thought that was classic. This just gives you, live life, enjoy everybody. That's all we can tell you. This was a fun show. I liked it. It's just a bunch of stuff thrown out there, which is always good. Vicky, any parting comments to make people feel good?
Nope.
Okay, I will say something because
Okay.
so that you're happy about your friend. To tell you how good artist I am,
Yeah.
Yes.
I was invited to a international competition. It's a good one. It's a big one. Yeah, but the thing is that even before I apply, I'm already shortlisted.
Nice.
Yes.
Very cool.
Fact
And where's the
check it.
where's
Yeah,
it
yeah.
where's it going to be? Where's the
I'm
competition
working
gonna
for
be?
your works, guys, so that your works have a
Yes.
good price.
Yeah,
Oh, Vicky has chosen a very nice one. It's one of my
I know.
favorites.
I saw.
I
I'm
like
very
I
jealous
like
of
it.
it.
the one that Vicky has chosen better
Well,
because it's
It's
more
you
very
sent me
tender.
this
It's
good.
more
as a gift. I
it has
didn't.
more female touch there, so it's
Well,
more
that's fine.
sensitive and
Oh
it's.
God. Okay.
But it
Well,
it
Vicky has
is
to give you her
Vicky.
address.
It's this work. It's created with caustics only. There is no models. So
Ah,
it's only the lights
really?
passing through models and the refraction of it. That's caustics. The lines that
Ah,
are produced by the lads.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why it's nice. And it was one of those works which for me those are the most successful somehow, which come out like that. I didn't have to
mhm.
try much, just in one night probably,
Right.
one or two, not
Those are
not
always the
more.
best.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My most successful works, they came like that. And
Mm.
this
Very
the
cool.
one that the last case, the one that we chased with infringement and stuff like that. I saw it
Uh-huh.
again in porno, and the
Oh,
crazy stuff is that I was looking at houses in Poland,
Right.
to
uh-huh.
in the internet, for
Yeah.
sales and stuff like that. And I was watching one house, and what I see one of my work
Did
there.
you?
You were telling us that
Yeah,
last week. I
and
remember
this
that.
work,
Yeah.
I think I have created. It's for sure one of the most famous work that people have printed themselves, and they
Right.
put it
Mm-hmm.
on the wall themselves, or they have bought
Right.
it from the guys, from
That
Amazon,
printed
and
it for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
the one that
Right.
we chase.
That's
But
funny.
okay, they didn't know. I don't blame the people who bought it. I blame those who sell it,
That's
and
true.
we are chasing those, but and we're still
I'm excited
chasing
about the
them.
show.
And
When's
I
your
think that
art
we'll
show?
be
If
chasing them
forever. When your
forever. I
international
don't know, but
competition. When do you go?
sorry
Where is
again.
it? Where's
The
the international art
competition.
competition?
Where is it? You mean the
Yeah, when you
country?
go, if you get accepted, where
No,
is
no,
it?
no. It's on the internet actually, but it's from a gallery, big gallery, with one of I cannot say the names, but
Okay.
I will tell
So when
them
you
Uh,
when
with
you
an
get
auction
accepted,
with an auction
okay,
house,
we'll put
one
the
of the
link
auction house.
below. When you finally can
Yeah,
tell us,
yeah,
we'll put the
yeah. Of
link below so
course.
people can see
So
it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, of course, and I'm
And all your
working
fans will love
on
it.
a piece on it, but I started, on that, but I need to finish it on my head first
All
somehow.
right.
And
Very cool. Well, that
yeah,
feels a positive
before I
note,
went to sleep, I was
right?
thinking about it, this way, this way, this way, this way, and I didn't come to any conclusion, but I made some steps. That's enough.
Okay. Cool. Very cool. Well,
So
that's a nice way
because
to
I
end the
need to do
show.
something really, really good,
Yeah.
really good, and I haven't been doing renderings because I do now. I play, but
3D.
I have some works. I do this 3D printing and the stuff that I really like. I know this
Right.
is a major step for me. I like, and I'm gonna have an exhibition probably in Athens fall. So I'm gonna
Nice.
put those things. Yeah, and it's going to be not in a gallery. It's going to
Okay.
a municipal gallery. You don't sell there, but you
Right.
are
Right.
very free to do stuff. We can do a lot of different,
Okay.
because sometimes when you don't sell, you do other stuff.
Right.
You're more open to other stuff, because in a gallery, one of the objectives, one main objective, is to sell also.
Right.
make money.
I like it. That's
So
very cool.
It's exciting.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm excited about the
Good.
competition. Hopefully, you get in. Let us know, and then when you do your thing in the fall, we'll let the fans know so they can come see you, touch you, and touch your work.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just don't touch
stop! He
me.
likes to be touched. Just
One of those things.
you're
Yeah.
going, touch me, feel me. What can I tell you? Anyway, everybody, thank you for listening or watching. We rebroadcast
Oh,
this
it's
on
over.
Tuesday. It's over. It's done.
Come on, let's do 1 hour more.
We'd have to read the newspapers then, and that's a whole nother thing.
Oh, I have
Anyway,
to.
we will see everybody next week. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you for joining us this Monday morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you are. And don't forget, you can catch us on Tuesday on the rebroadcast, or you can catch us
Catch me
wherever you
if
get
you
your
can.
podcasts. And don't forget to subscribe and like. Vicky, always good to see you. Adam, good to see you.
Yeah,
Everybody,
yeah,
thank you.
too.
We'll see you all next week. Cheers, everybody.
Bye bye.